live or not. He's basically like, hang up. Fuck you guys. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Show Now. Tonight we are joined by I Love You Dad.
Love you, Dad.
Everyone's favourite curry kitten.
Love you, Tony's dad.
Do you want to read out the disclaimer quickly?
I've lost it again.
We don't need to, Andy's not
Moi, Paweł Spychalski.
Oh, yeah, and our guest.
Yes.
Any views expressed by any guest on the show, personal may reflect the views of others, whether they be meerkat or person.
Andrew / Frank.
Good evening and good luck, Tony's dad.
Thank you.
And our very special guest, Paweł Spychalski.
Big out number 5.
Closer.
Yeah. We can live with that.
I'm sorry.
A few more years of living in this beautiful country of Poland, and you will learn how to spell it, or not. It depends.
Yeah. And I am Bright to Fly, and get well soon, Tony's dad. We got the God of INAV on again. We love him. He came around and hung out last time. Surprisingly, he's come back and isn't totally done with us. Or just me, because I'm the worst host in the world.
Nah, not that bad. We can live with that. Yeah.
I'm deeply
Frank's just
sorry.
finished fishing for compliments.
It's my
so
third
very
time, so you cannot be the worst.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, that there has to be someone worse than you. There's always someone worse.
We haven't found him yet, but there's probably someone out there. Just reading between the lines.
Oh, I know. Hopefully. But you guys were quickly speaking about some sort of lost quad or something shut down. Do you want to carry on that conversation quickly?
This was a news article that popped up, and I put it in the LDO Discord as well. So this is a Latvian sort of research, I guess, kind of level thing. Big fixed wing. It's got internal combustion engine, batteries, solar panels. It's a motor glider more than kind of plane. You know, it's got really long wings and it can fly for 4 days. And they took it up and then it disappeared and they lost control of it. And
Oh dear.
yeah, and with 4 days worth of fuel on board, they just kind of went, oh, well, we don't know where it is. And so they had to shut down a load of airspace to manned air traffic because they didn't know whether they were just going to, have this unmanned aircraft just hurtling at someone.
How big is it?
I can't remember. I'll dig it out.
Probably
I
a few
suppose-
meters of the wingspan, but finding that stuff in the air. Oh, come on! We are watching too many U.S. Hollywood movies when they know everything that's flying. No, this is absolutely not true. A funny story.
I can't
I'm
find
not
a
sure if
747 that disappears. I don't think they'll find that. I was just going to say, is it running INAV? Is it Power's fault that it disappeared?
what the 747 from Malaysia or this one. About this one, I have no bloody idea. Could be because I know that some companies are trying to run INAV on very specialistic, let's say, pieces of hardware. So I have no idea. But a funny story. I know someone who won a bet with the commanding officer of the military base that he can fly over this military base without the people in the military base sitting behind the radars will know about his presence. He got this legal, he got the permission from the authorities, and he flew over the base. And he won. They had no idea the airplane was there.
Wow.
Ow.
The hell?
Yep.
Very
And that's
small.
the last we ever saw of you because letting that information out on this shit show has probably just killed you.
You have no idea which country
Yeah, true.
and which base.
Yeah.
Or I might be lying. This is also possible.
Yeah. We just don't
But it's a
know.
cool story, right?
It is. Mind you, we lose Tony all the time. He's quite small.
Shut up.
It's like
Oh, he is there.
they ignore radar hits on small things because they just figure it's birds and stuff or something. Is that's not a very technical explanation, but that's what I heard about radar at
Yeah,
like air
if the
traffic
thing
control
is
sometimes.
small, there is really no chance to pick it up from the background noise of anything. So it's there or it's not there. Maybe it's a Schrodinger's drone. Maybe it crashed 2 weeks ago and nobody knows about it.
Well, if that is the case, then there's always a drone there,
Yes,
and
of
there's
course,
the possibility that the drone is also not there.
of course.
How
Shedding
how you
drone.
doing? We got an INAV traitor in our hands amidst being like he's given up. He said he's had enough. Oh. What have you been up to? Have you managed to get out of lockdown yet, or are they still arresting people for washing their cars?
We actually can wash our cars now.
Wow.
So it's like 2 weeks, something like
Yeah.
2 weeks. We are allowed to go outside for the recreational purposes, whatever that means. So it's kinda better, but that's really not maybe the best topic, since this whole topic is not the most pleasant one, right?
Yeah.
Let's I don't know, not like the mass media, and let's be positive about something. Let's be optimistic.
Harry managed to get outside and fly briefly,
Bring
right?
Evangelia to the people. There's a good news. I have no idea what the good news is, but I'm pretty sure there is a good news.
Yeah, good news is Curry Kitten did fly a drone in his garden, and I've seen the footage.
Yeah, I've seen the footage as well, but I'm not
It
sure
was a
that's
short flight.
really positive, right?
Was it flying though?
Would anybody else like to see the footage for all our
Yes.
viewers?
Me again,
Let's,
please.
Let me just quickly explain the setup here. This was my initial line of sight with the iFlight Green Falcon, which is one of these. They call them cine whoops, don't they? But they're not really whoops. They just happen to
No, they
have
are not
ducted
whoops.
fans. So it's in fact sounds like a jet airplane when it takes off. It's the loudest thing I've ever flown. But what it didn't do was beep when I armed it. So just checking it was armed, I just moved the throttle up a bit, but it was a bit sensitive. So when I moved the throttle up a bit to check it was armed, here's what happened.
Yeah, 2 seconds of flight.
That's
So
flying.
that was
That's
my
what-
mate.
That's flight.
Is it flying if it's under control?
No.
Yeah, I did some more flights on it, and it was fine. It's really loud, and really quite scary to have around your garden or anything. But you know, it was all right once I got it like happy. I don't like. I was flying that on angle, which I wouldn't normally do. It was just because I was so compressed, and of course, angle will get your motors moving up more than you want them to anyway. But yeah, I could fly around some little gaps. I didn't take it in the house because other people are in the house, and if I ruin the house, I'd have no plausible deniability. I have to do it when people aren't there, and then I could just say, I don't know, robbers came and smashed the house up or something.
I now know why everyone was scared when I flew mine around the office.
It's terrifying.
No, those
On
things
my
are really
deck,
extremely loud.
it reverbs, so all the air pushing downwards onto the deck, it was just and I noticed one of the motors was really, really hot, and the battery lasted barely 3 minutes just going around the garden. So it's a very specific purpose, but I can imagine there's interesting places I'd like to try it out when we're allowed to go
I
out.
have
just to
something
try it.
like that, and mine is flying around 6 minutes on the regular 1.5 amp hour sleeper. So maybe there's just something wrong with yours.
Really?
Mine
What, and that's-
1600 milliamp 4S flies 2.5 minutes.
So me and Tony are the same.
That
What are you carrying on yours,
extremely sure.
Pavel? GoPro still?
Yeah, with the GoPro. With the GoPro, I still have like 6 minutes of flight.
And 3-inch props?
3-inch props.
Yeah, 3-inch props. That's an iFlight Mega B or something like that. In general, almost the same format. Only mine is full black. I just put regular LiPo 1.5 amp hours 4S and regular props, and the regular GoPro I broken, by the way, a few days ago. finally, so I can send it on the warranty. And this thing still pulls around 6 minutes of flight. Without the GoPro, closer to 7. Of course, it all depends on the total management. But yeah, this is how it flies.
Well, I can't.
At
I
least
can't
should.
get. I can't get 6 minutes.
3 minutes. I mean, I
You're
wasn't
3
doing
minutes.
great.
3 minutes.
You're doing
3
something
minutes
wrong.
max.
1.3 amp 4S, not great batteries, but it wouldn't be double the difference. And yours
It's
is iFlight
bloody
as well.
heavy. It's bloody heavy, but it flies.
Yeah, 620 grams. That
They don't fly nice either, do they?
no.
I
Okay, yeah, they're for a purpose, but
They work.
that's
They
my
do their
garden
job.
review.
They do their job.
No, but there is a purpose of like being able to fit in those all the tight places. My colleague has it's not even 3-inch because it's 4-inch. It's super heavy, almost like a 5-inch racer. It has a GoPro on the tilt. So the GoPro gone down, and it has cameras on both sides, so he can fly forward, backward, and when he fly backward, just the GoPro flips from this tilt to this tilt. So yeah, you can, and you actually can fly relatively close to people without the people being scared of being cut by the propellers. Yes, still bloody loud, still controls altitude like piece of whatever, but flies.
There you go.
Question. So the question is, yes, it should do bicopters. It even should do single copters, and it even should do dual copters, whatever copters there are, because this is only about setting the mixer. However, it's not doing the VTOL transition. It can almost do VTOL transition. It can swap the roll and yaw. One of the two of the axes has swapped, but it cannot attenuate pitch between first and the second. So not yet. Maybe in a few years it will learn to do that.
we transfer this podcast audibly. So Frank, will you read the questions, or will you read out the questions?
Okay, yeah.
So
Sorry,
Fraser had a question. So yeah, editor, get ready. Fraser had a question for Pavel. Does iNav do bicopters, and does it do VTOL transitions?
So that
There you
last
go,
question.
Put that in
We
first,
edit,
please.
put my answer after this, and we are golden. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
No worries.
Amen.
Whoops. I really enjoyed that. Also, I saw that you done your crawler. You uploaded it like a couple of days ago. But I haven't watched it yet.
It's almost ready, but as much ready as it will be for this release of iNav. So yeah, it drives around the stuff.
I got the notification. I get the email and saw that you uploaded it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it drives.
It looks exciting.
Maybe not perfect. The biggest problem is that it just will go home on the return to home on a straight line. So if there is anything on the straight line between the place when you started this and when you started the procedure, it will just go directly this thing.
The only problem with
the
ground machines is
almost
in the air.
Almost ready.
In the air,
I like Dave Story's. Sorry to interrupt. I like Dave Story's comment.
We can highlight
That
it.
one.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Oh, you forgot about something. You forgot about reading the question, guys.
Oh, yes, we did.
Read the question.
Dave Story asked. Did they show him
they did show me
stuff?
the meerkat in the beginning. Yes, they did showed me this stuff. Yes, I'm not finding this offensive. However, I do not sound like that.
It's a bit like when you tell a Canadian they keep saying a boot instead of about, and they're like, "No, we don't. What are you talking about?"
Well, yeah, that's the fact. I do have this strong, thick Eastern European accent. Some people, I don't remember who it was, called this a Transylvanian accent, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's a
That's all good.
Transylvanian accent.
Correct.
However, I never been in Transylvania, and I have at least few thousand kilometers from where I live to the Transylvania. But still, I sound like Count Dracula.
Yeah.
Can you read
Spo-
this?
of course. Cyner, spoiwo lutownicze. SN 60, PB 40. Uwaga, and I... Wait.
Bring
Actually,
it back. Bring it back, Jack.
I have
This
the same.
Yes, this is my favourite type of solder.
I have the same.
Meerkat soldier.
Yes, it's the best. And there's another version of it that smells fruity. I'm trying to find the label for it. Give me a second.
No, but this is the fact. It's extremely hard to buy the proper solder. I know the US guys pronounce it solder. You are normal or not?
We're normal. They can't speak.
Solder.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
We're
extremely
much
hard.
more racist to them than you.
Okay. It's extreme. I'm not racist. I'm only brave enough to criticize people for them being themselves. Anyhow, no, it's extremely fine to find a solder with the lead. I tried finding this, for example, on the Amazon or somewhere in the Western Europe, extremely hard. In Poland, no problem. You just get yourself the solder by Thinel, by the way, the best manufacturer of the leaded solder, and it's there. However, I'm slowly changing my approach to the solder.
At least you say solder and not solder.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
at
says
least.
lead instead of lead.
Lead? It's lead?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we say lead. No,
So-
lead is like a cable.
Okay, lead.
Lead is how I walk my dog.
I can say
on a
plumbo.
lead.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
spelled exactly the same, not to confuse people like
Yeah.
many strange
Yeah,
English words.
That's English
Lead.
for you.
Don't-
Non-leaded solder. Non-leaded solder. Okay. I got me just before the lockdown. But I don't have this. I got me something also from Synel without lead, and actually it was pretty awesome. I have no idea what they put inside of this. Maybe better flax, but that was the first non-lead solder that actually worked. So maybe.
Because I can't read this. What's the difference between this?
Yeah.
this-
Okay. SN40. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that compared to this, the other one,
It's the same.
it's the same.
Yeah, the same.
One smells of peach when you burn it, and one
the orange
doesn't.
one smells really nice.
No,
other
they should be exactly the same. Only the non-orange is half a millimeter, and the second one is 0.7 millimeters. Maybe there's a different flax inside, but no, basically it should be exactly the same solder.
Yeah, I can't see the cores in the other one.
That's a band.
It's extremely hard. This half millimeter. It's really hard to put like 4 cores of the flax inside, but probably it's the same.
It definitely still. It's definitely got lead in it because obviously it's got PB written on it. Yeah, I don't know. Weird, but
Should be the same.
This is quite good. I think that's also.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that Polish as well?
Pasta lutownicza. Yes, that's Polish, of course.
Yeah, and that's pretty good, but it is quite thick.
Sorry, does pasta mean something else in Polish then?
No, it's paste. It's paste because it's
so what do you call pasta?
soldering paste. Pasta? You mean the macaroni?
Yeah.
Or
macaron
stuff.
It's macaron. If someone in Poland says pasta, he does not mean spaghetti or other macaroni like that. No. This stuff, and especially pasta do butów, shoe paste.
That's interesting because I could just imagine going into a Polish restaurant and trying your best and just like, let's just go with pasta. That means the same thing.
Yeah,
you get some interesting things.
You might try, right?
So what's the solution for the ground brace rover? Would it be like logging the route instead of like
one
as
of the developers of INAV had an experimental return by your own tracks code. but it's highly outdated. I was just afraid to merge it. It was highly experimental. Nobody's brave enough to really test it. But maybe one day someone will find some time, try to update the code and run it. Because yeah, it's possible. It's possible just to recreate your own tracks. And also, if, for example, the waypoints mission waypoints mission is used, just reverse the waypoint. So the return to home will happen the same way, only reversed. But we will see. It definitely will not go into INAV 2.5 because I'm trying to pronounce this word correctly now.
I'm
Because
still working on your name. Don't worry about it.
probably INAV 2.5 will be built tomorrow. At least this is the theory.
Dave Story uses IPA for flux. So is this what I can use?
Isopropanol, Tony.
Oh,
Indian Pale
okay.
Ale.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, sorry.
One day I will educate him in the ways of.
You've
Sorry.
got your really pure water there. Like, surely you can use that for cleaning chips and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what this comment means from Taos Bin RC, but it struck me as something interesting, so I thought I'd highlight it. My
Read it out.
hovercraft is full of eels. It sounds like something you might say to a passing secret agent to make sure you have identified it correctly.
Yeah.
You have to say
I'm
something back.
actually going to use that as a little secret.
You know what it's from, though, right? Like,
no.
Monty
No, I
Python.
don't recognise it.
What film is that from?
It's Monty Python. There's a sketch. There's someone has maliciously rewritten the Belgian to English dictionary. There's a
It's part of the flying circus stuff then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's API guys here. How you doing?
Hello. Wagwan.
Phone's going down at 10:30.
Oh, here we go.
so
This is Curry Kitten's family coming and talk for a minute. Let's come on.
Half 10.
Shush, everyone.
I know that one.
Editor,
It happens to
can
me
you
all the
highlight
time.
that? Can we see if we can hear that on the edit, please? Thank you.
What's
It
happening
won't
at
sound very
10:30?
exciting. It sounds like 10:30. That's when she has to take a laptop and phone downstairs. And extended from 10 o'clock because tomorrow's a bank holiday.
Oh,
I'm working tomorrow. Maybe I shouldn't work.
Getting double time.
But probably
Yeah,
not because I pay
double time
myself. Yeah.
Pay yourself twice.
I'd love to.
So
And then
does the
sleep with the boss for extra.
I've done that for very many years.
Does the INAV ground rover stuff? Is that specific to particular boards, or does anything that will work with INAV will work as a ground?
No, this should work with any board. With the any board, you can control. You can connect servo because not to every board you can connect servo and the motor. I'm not sure if this will be supported on the STM F3 boards because they have limited everything, and it's extremely to put anything on the F3 boards. But yeah, it should be working on almost every board that you can use on the airplanes, for example. My rover is based on the Omnibus F4, I think. Yeah, Omnibus F4, and works almost like a charm.
I remember when F3 first come out, and we were like, we never
Yeah,
needed
I
anything
know.
else.
Yeah,
And
good
now
old times.
it's like
That's it. We don't need it. We don't need F7. What's this F7?
yeah, F7. What's after F7? Is there anything
Now
after?
we have the H7s coming. Somehow only Dominic Clifton builds H7s so far. I wonder why. I have a theory, but I will not tell you.
Well, I believe we did an interesting interview on Painless's channel. I think they were talking about it and about kind of the amount of work that went into making it work with the H7 and vice versa. which is why it's unlikely
Speaking
to
of
be turned
painless,
The problem with H7s is completely different. The H7s as a series are the most powerful microcontrollers from the STM. That's correct. If, for example, you can get whatever running on the H7 for blah 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 blah, you have really like more computational power that you will ever need. You can play video games on this. You can decode MPEG. You can do my nose. You can do almost everything. However, there are two problems. Problem number one: we do not need all that computational power. Honestly, the F7 is completely enough in terms of the
But this is
of the
what we said about the
processing.
F3 and the F5 as well, until it wasn't.
The problem with the F3 is not even the computational power. The problem with the F3 is the limited memory in flash. This is what's running out on the F3s, not the CPU itself. There's just not enough space to put new code into it. In theory, everything should great. However, it's too fast. You do not really need right now, at least, all that power. The real problem with the boards that Dominic Clifton is putting on the market is that they are based on the H750, which is the cheapest H7, still fast, but the cheapest, and has even less flash than F3s. So the trick is that for the H750, you have to put the code either on the SD card and load the code from the SD card during boot and move it to the RAM memory, or have separate chip, like for the black box, dedicated only to store externally the code of Betaflight, or in the future also the INA. So in theory, it's faster, but because it's the cheapest, the less flash equipped, you have to put extra hardware to make this thing running. Honestly, you can also put the same stuff on the F722 and you will have almost the same benefits, because the main limitation of the boards currently is the format of the boards, the area of the boards. Look at the flight controllers by Matek for the wings, for the airplanes. They are not 36 by 36. Why? Because you need space to put everything. Even the most powerful F745 from Matek, it's even 2 layers connected by wires, because there is not enough space on the main board to put all the voltage stabilization. So it's on the top board connected by the separate wires. F745, this was the first series of the F7s that we were using on the boards. Great, fantastic, enough power, enough flash, enough memory, enough inputs and outputs. Too big to really put on the 36 by 36 millimeter board and still have place to connect everything you want. So this is a real limitation. And now we have a question from the Zero FPV, and the question is, so why don't we just add additional flash on the board? Yes, they are doing that, but additional flash means that you have to have space on the board for this flash. This is extra cheap. You have to pay for it. You have to manufacture, solder this into place. It takes space, and honestly, it increases costs. If there were really right now for the software we are using a need to have a CPU on the flight controller, then yes, H7. Then yes, we would go that way. But this is not really a limitation. The limitation is the size, the limitation is the price, the limitation is, for example, the RAM memory, the limitation is what else? I don't know, the SPI, the gyros are the limitation, everything connected via the I2C bus. This is the limitation, not more megahertz to run the cores of the processor. It's a hype. It's slightly a hype, at least in my understanding, but it sells well because, come on, H7s are the fastest, right? So your quad will fly better if you will put the faster controller on it. Not exactly true, but yeah, I can see how people that are not really deeply into understanding of this topic can go that road, because kinda makes sense. After all, it's better to have the faster PC than the slower PC, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Generally.
But if you're playing Curry Kittens, it will be all right on anything.
Tony lost the word for sim there.
I did. I was like, what the fuck is it? Someone's take over. No one did. Sim!
Simulation.
What are you doing with your sim at the moment, Curry Kitten? You're trying to set up a chase.
We have been, well, I've been working on the online multiplayer, which up until this evening was causing me problems trying to get that smooth, because the network code to get the position data through was making these jerky updates. And I just tested it before we came on with Frank, and I've had a breakthrough, and we've got some smooth play on there finally. So
Cool.
I can move forward on that one, because the rest of it's just about done. There's lobbies and rooms, and you can join games and stuff. But it might add some more stuff. What?
Wow. Can we borrow some devs?
Don't need none. No one gets to touch my code. It's mine. Control freak.
I'm not touching
Initiated.
your code. No, definitely
No.
I'm not touching your code.
Do you want to demo it, Curry?
What,
Or
the
is that-
online stuff?
Yeah,
Why not?
We can do.
because
Have
it
you
worked pretty well when you were sharing your screen.
Are you still there? Have you still
I'm-
got it?
Yeah, I'm
We could
still,
have
like-
somebody else logged in. Except
Well,
Jack never
why
downloaded it,
Why
and
don't
Tony
we?
doesn't know
Why
how.
don't we log someone in from the chat?
We
Well,
can do,
you
but
wanna
then I'd
play?
have to share a link of unfinished code. I
RC
suppose
Laboratory.
sharing it with one of you guys.
Sim friends, and says Mr. Shady. Sim friends.
Ooh,
friends.
You have that as a bonus thing. Like if you have more than like a couple of people, it says that. Editor
It's true, you should
isolate
do
that to Curry. Speaking of Painless 360, I got a present. He's been doing crafts, and if
What's he done?
it's a Funko Pop, and it's a Pasheen one, and
Oh,
wait for it. So it says, "Hello, Jack. This pop, I saw this pop online and couldn't resist making a special editions. Happy flying, Lee." And
oh.
total surprise. And you open it, and pull it out, and it's a
No
little
way.
Oh,
How cool's that?
Wow, cool.
goggles and a little thing, just like the machine there that Frank built.
Oh,
He got his to hold the transmitter.
that's
so
amazing.
It is just blue tack, so we can just move the blue tack.
that is way cool. I think I probably heard the last podcast where you were going, "Ooh, friends, best friends, Frank and friend, Frank and Painless friends. You didn't give me a present." That's cool, man.
I hope so. I hope you feel really guilty. Friend stealer. Frank's mine.
You're building up a collection of FPV machines then.
Yeah. Let us know if anyone wants to volunteer to help me make some of them fly. And Wynn sent me it's over there on top of the thing, but it's a heat gun or a mains powered dildo, as he put it.
Nice.
And another digital caliper as well, because they're sick of me trying to read the manual one.
Oh, the manual calipers, they are great. I love manual ones. Fantastic stuff.
I've got both, so I can measure both nipples at the same time.
Where's my caliper, by the way?
Electro now.
I haven't seen my caliper for a long time now.
His one came with a special case. And I'm like, what? I didn't know that they came with cases.
Richard Borwick asks, any updates on Mini Air Show? Yes. We're currently waiting for some bits of internet to update. So if you go to miniairshow.co.uk right at this moment, I don't know what you're going to get. It could be one of many things. But it probably won't be the latest website in any at any point, to be honest. But by the time the podcast goes out, you'll see the latest nice and shiny website, which is reasonably similar to the previous website until next week, Saturday, the 16th of May, when it's going to update with a big video player that we're going to be able to point at lots of different things. So you can go there and spend the day with that open, and it'll take you through all the different live streams that are happening throughout the day and different videos that have been put together.
Found it.
Vernier calipers, they don't run out of battery. That's their
No,
benefit.
definitely never.
Or leak.
And oh yeah, I will not do that. At least not on the
We'll
air.
make a gift of that.
But yes, so MA6 online is a thing and it is happening. So Painless is going to do a talk on how to ask for help. Jack is doing something with Andy on troubleshooting.
Oh, best friends. I thought we were doing something, Jack. I thought we were doing 5 minutes of arguing.
What the hell?
We can do that on the live. Sophie
Oh,
was
look,
here.
Sophie's in chat.
That's what she looks like for anybody watching. You're not to watch this. This is bad.
Stop watching this, Sophie.
Not watching
It's
immediately.
bad for your mind.
Bad.
Got limited computer time. Don't waste it on this.
Yeah.
Then we've got some competitions being streamed out. So there's going to be an oddball. So if you've been to one of the mini air show events before, you'll have seen the tables of weird stuff that people have brought along and competing to see. So for that, speak to Curry that way.
If anybody watching has built something interesting or even vaguely interesting, then let me know, and I will want to see it and ask you questions, and maybe have you on the show.
What's up, Jerry?
And if you win, there may or may not be a prize.
Pavel, do you want to get involved with mini air show? Maybe do a tour.
What the hell is mini air show, guys? I'm not I'm not from this island. I'm the one on the east,
So Mini Air Show started up in 2015 as part of International Drone Day, but it's carried on even though International Drone Day isn't kind of a thing anymore. But yeah, we were down at Hidden Valley, which is kind of field in the middle of nowhere in this picturesque part of the south of England. Unfortunately, local councillor / dog walker didn't take a liking to drones being in that area, so we got moved on. Then we, for the past 2 years, we've been at Popham Airfield, which is a light aircraft airfield, general aviation airfield in the kind of still south of England, but it's at least kind of roughly level with London rather than being on the south coast. And we've been there for the past couple of years, and we've had more people getting involved from all sorts of different corners of the hobby generally. So we've kind of been trying to keep it as a model air show, but rather than being a lot of scale balsa models with some drones tacked on the side, we're trying to be kind of the latest stuff up front with other things around the edge. So we've had the Southampton University's big 3D printed unmanned aerial vehicle that's kind of got 2 internal combustion engines and can go for ages, and for launching things around wind turbines and coral reefs and all sorts of stuff. And we've had the X class, and we've had all sorts of things that we've been having. Obviously, this year we can't have an in-person event, so we're dragging everyone together for a day
online.
A day of live online interactive live streams and videos that are on loads of different channels all over the internet, but we're pulling them together so that you can see them at miniairshow.co.uk. Yeah, so there's
so it's an online air show.
Yeah, that's the idea. we'll see how it goes. So as well as the oddball, we'll hopefully have some freestyle, which we've done previously. Still working out the sign up for that, but that should be going up soon as well. Ali Barrett in the chat is doing a Velocidrone tournament in the evening.
Cool.
And we've also got and he's built like Popham. Like he has built Popham in Velocidrone. And it's pretty impressive how quickly he put something like to that level together. But yeah, so there should be there's some team racing going on there. We've also got Paul Jaggers potentially doing some Tiny Whoop Go racing. He's doing an event right now, I believe. So I will catch up with him and see if we can do something with that. What else have we got? We've got a few other people doing talks and interviews and things going on as well, but schedule's reasonably full. We're adding some things in and tightening things up, but the final website and the final schedule should be going up shortly. We've also got Lurgy doing a build along, building sort of a paper aeroplane on steroids, I would say. So it involves, from memory, 2 sheets of A4, a paper straw, and some super glue. And
I've got
seen
all
him.
that, so I'll be there for that.
Yeah, there you go. And RC Robotics is putting together a version 2 of his Black Hornet scale micro heli.
Cool.
So there's that going on as well. So all sorts of different things. Yeah. So keep an eye. So you can follow all the latest updates on Facebook at facebook.com/mini air show. Also putting stuff out on Instagram at Mini Air Show, and the website is currently being moved around and all sorts of things are happening, so it might not work right now, but eventually, shortly at the weekend, you should be able to find it at miniairshow.co.uk.
Mini Air Show UK, the main page, and I like it.
Excellent. There we go.
Excellent. Yeah.
Right. I would ask you, would you like me to pass your email on to Frank? But he doesn't need me to do that. Frank will find you
Yeah.
anywhere, whether you like to or not.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, while we're moving internet stuff about, I have realized that the email addresses might be a bit skewed as well. So the safest email address, if you do want to drop us an email at the moment, the safest one would be miniairshowuk@gmail.com. That's going to be the easiest, safest email that will definitely get there instead of getting lost in some domain name server somewhere.
Yeah. And also, if you're listening to this and there's people that you think would be really interesting on there, or someone you might know who does want to get involved, also pass them on and then chat. And if we can squeeze them in, that would be good. If not, next year, and sort of, ideas are welcome.
Next year, hopefully, we'll be in a field together, hugging and drinking beer.
Yeah, I'm going to dig a big hole, fill it with lubricant, throw Tony in. It's going to be wild.
Well, depending on how things turn out, maybe we can still do LDO No in autumn.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Autumn. Sounds horrible, but yes.
That's a long way away.
It is.
Frank, did you start up your sim? Are we doing this?
It is there. Just I will
there you
find the room.
Hang on. Let me.
Do you get on with Constantine, Powell?
What do you mean? Do I get on with Constantine?
do you like, because he
Well, you
started
friends?
iNav? Do you guys work together?
Yes. Come on.
I
Yes.
think,
He's
like,
still
you
the
and
leader of
him-
this project.
Yeah, you and him together on a podcast would be amazing.
You only have to convince Constantine.
Yeah, he's been on before.
You know?
I like him. His name's way easier to say.
Yes, definitely his name is easier to say than mine. Yes.
And he gave me the
his
logo.
last name. Try his last name.
Oh my god, no!
Yeah.
I can't even remember his last name. Shit.
Curry
It's
Kitten,
hard-
are you
It's even
chasing
hard
Frank?
to pronounce for me.
Yeah, Frank is the blue one.
And is this real time now?
We're
Yep.
actually
This
playing
is
this
happening.
now.
Yeah. Someone put a shoe on their head to prove it's live.
So if you're watching, if you're listening to the podcast, Curry Kitten's sim, Frank is flying in front of Curry Kitten and they're chasing each other, and this is pretty bloody cool, to be fair. Dive, Frank, dive! Yay! This is cool. How many players are going to have flying around at any one time, Curry?
We've put a room limit of 4 at the moment, but I haven't actually tested it.
Why so blue,
Okay,
Frank?
so that's the next.
I've lost Frank. Where'd he go? Where'd you go, Frank?
What this is what happens in real life, so this is really
Yeah.
spot on.
Yes,
Even
very
though you're
realistic.
taken off
This
next
is-
to
I've
each
literally
other.
Hover above
put-
the aerial.
I
wait
was under the
there.
bridge.
I've put bloody trails on. I still can't see him. The bridge.
Diving
Oh.
down.
Surely you'd sink quicker than that.
Yeah, what's slow sink?
The sky bridge.
Oh, we're going to see a nice little Matty flip.
Oh,
There you are.
Oh, there we
there
go.
he is. To the
Let's
left.
try. Here we go.
Yeah. It's interesting. I never really got into this FPV simulators. Every single one I tried, it's not even close to the reality.
Do you want to try this one?
Really?
We're sending you a
Don't worry. I feel he's a hostile witness.
Yeah.
I'm a hostile witness. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never enjoyed the racing ones, which is why this is just filled with stupid things to do.
Oh, can you make that tail you're diving there? Literally, can you clear out everything inside so you can dive in it?
No, but you can go in the building.
then
Frank,
can't
go
get
to the
out.
building.
Open
That's quite
the
a
hole at
difficult
the
building.
bottom of that one, Curry Kitten, so we can dive down it like a big chimney.
Isn't there like a mountain of toilet
diving
paper
a
as well?
chimney. A guy I know, in my city in Poland, we have the third tallest chimney in Europe or in the world. It's abandoned factor, really, like that. The thing is bloody high. He was thinking about diving this thing, which I have to check some numbers, but at least a few hundred meters. But he actually went from the bottom to the chimney and all the way up and went out of the chimney to the. I should find the video.
How did he maintain signal?
Crossfire on full power.
Ah, fair enough.
No, but for the FPV, from what I know, he had a separate antenna repeater inside of the chimney.
Yeah.
So
Inside
he
and
was
out.
outside, but he was transmitting over the over. So let me.
Where's Frank?
Frank, where are you?
I'm going around the building that I thought you were in.
Haven't your battery run out
left.
yet?
Yeah.
I found it a good idea not to simulate batteries because it would just keep stopping.
Interestingly, I've had a couple of fail safes, but I think that might be my USB bus is not quite handling camera,
Find each other.
microphone,
That's it.
internet,
There
There
he
we
is.
go.
transmitter, and everything.
It's good that you got a trail on there so you can find him. It's like we've tied
Yeah.
a ribbon around him.
I've also made the quad 4 times bigger so I can see him better. Are you going in then, Frank? Let's test your flying ability.
Oh god!
Oh god, it's live on
It's
air.
gonna be
Can
better than-
Frank
it-
make it through the building.
It's
Place
gonna be
your
better than
You saw what
Andy
happened in
RC
Spain, right?
chimney.
place your bets.
No,
Straight
I
into a
cannot
column.
find this. Okay,
Yeah,
I think
he's
I should
crashed.
stop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Oh, they've both crashed.
oh no, I reset. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually, Tony. The old nuclear,
Tower.
whatever it was, tower. Oh look,
Cooling
Frank's
tower.
buggered off. I will go then, Frank. I will stop sharing. 'cause
Yeah,
Frank's left me.
holler that out and put put something at the bottom so we can escape, so we can dive the chimney and.
I won't do that, but I'll put I'll get someone to design me a new object, which will work as a chimney, and then you can dive down and come out the bottom or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But we're happy. Frank, my long-suffering person I message twice a day, say, Frank, can I borrow you? I need you to fly again. Because I don't know if anybody's developed an online game recently, but when you're trying to do 2 players at once, it's hard. And detecting if it's not working is hard. So Frank's been my test buddy.
Yes, light up that, Clive. Can we do that, Frank? Carrigan.
What's that? Can you make Tony an X-Class to fly in it? Yeah, that's you press the B button and it gets 4 times bigger. That's it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Cool.
It only looks bigger. It doesn't do anything different.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean,
That means we can see you.
Yeah.
But there you go.
And
That'll
if
be
you're
coming
smart-
out soonish.
And if you're smart enough to download it on GitHub, you get it for free.
Yes, indeed. Because it's the
And
only place you can
compile.
download it, because I still haven't done the Steam integration yet. One thing at a time, people.
Oh my god.
It's not as if you're doing anything, is it? Come on.
I've lost sound.
From who? Can you hear us, Jack? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
I can hear you.
It's just Jack.
Absolutely fine.
Just Jack.
As far as we can figure, Jack's whole system is on this little hair trigger, and if anything changes, his entire audio
But if he
system collapses.
breathes,
I think he's
This
got
is
like an atomic detector. You know, it detects a emission of a particle, and then it changes the state of his audio
think that's
setup.
right. Anybody that usually watches mine and Jack's stream on Twitch last night would notice it was 3.5 hours late. This is because we were waiting for Jack to fix his computer.
3.5
And then we were so
hours
knackered.
late.
We were so knackered by the time it started, we lasted about half an
But
hour.
he
until we
did
go
it.
to bed.
But he did it.
Or did he?
Remember that if he did it,
The evidence now suggests he didn't do it properly.
Oh,
it
dear.
doesn't matter. He did it.
Yeah,
You
I had to
should be proud
restart.
of your colleague. You should be
No,
proud of him. You should support him.
they don't.
Are you-
Welcome to England, where we mock each other.
We literally do mock each other.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
I'm giving you my old motherboard. Stop it, you. Time magical pencil out, someone. And why isn't he a mod? He donates loads to the show. God damn it.
So, 2.5 is being built tomorrow. Yeah.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully tomorrow there should be RC1. I actually today built a configurator for the 2.1. It's not public yet. But if you really want to download the configurator for 2.5, you can find it. There's no reason to do it, but you can. But no, honestly, probably tomorrow. At least this is what Konstantin said, like yesterday or 2 days ago. Because Konstantin almost always is the one that builds the firmware. I'm usually the builds the configurator for the Windows and the Linux, and Alberto builds for the macOS. But because there's very little people using macOS, we only leave it for the final release. So hopefully, if not tomorrow, then let's say next few days, and the first release candidate should be out there. It even
On
should
behalf
work.
of all people using Mac OS, we feel very upset we're in third place. But if you need any help on Linux, just ask Jack. He's an expert. Any question, he'll sort you out.
I have like internal problem with the macOS. I do use Mac because I have to use Mac because it's my my company forces me to work on Macs, so I have to do it. But oh man, there are so many wrong things with macOS. I really don't get it. How people might love this thing. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Windows
He's-
is
he's-
horrible.
He's laughing now, but when he's forced onto Catalina, he will be sorry. Don't worry, we just buy our time, and then when they force to update and none of his
Don't
programs
have
work,
to update. Won't
And-
update.
Updates are fine. Updates are fine. My biggest problem is that you are really locked with the macOS into your stuff. You cannot do anything outside of this, and I hate how macOS handles window management on the if you have multiple screens. This thing is so counterintuitive. It does so many things wrong. It's like, come on, no. I'm preaching.
Gorgeous
I'm
and
preaching
beautiful,
for the
and
Microsoft
really,
for the Windows 10.
it's
It's
a
so
Linux
much better.
BSD kernel under the covers anyway, so it's really Linux with nice, pretty
Yes,
GUI.
Linux with limitations.
Yeah, which goes against everything Linux stands for.
I don't know. I could take my source code that I developed on some Unix system and just compile it and make it work. It seems good to me. At least it's not Windows.
Oh, Windows is so much better. So much better.
Jesus.
So
Remove this guy from the call. He's talking
before
craziness.
there's, like a fist fight virtually. With 2.5, what's the kind of headline sort of feature for 2.5 that you've been working on? What's the bit you're most happy with?
Did you just burp in my face?
I'm happy of the things I've built into 2.5, or just the 2.5 in general.
In general,
There's a difference in general. In general, I think it would be mine logic conditions, global functions, and global variables. The possibility to program from outside. I think this is almost the least useful feature that I'm really proud of. Because for the normal people, this thing will have absolutely make no sense of the things you can do with it. Besides, but no, it has some nice feature because, for example, you can bind the VTX channel to a rotary encoder on your radio. So you can change channel with the rotary encoder. Doable. You can change channels with the flip of a switch. You can change power with the flip of the switch. There are like things you can do. And hopefully in the next releases of INAV, I will also make it possible to activate modes and to override RC channels. So you will be able to really program some kind of behaviors. But for the normal user, it really makes no sense to use this thing. But you can. You can, if you can like go through this and you really feel you want to build something absolutely stupid and not really usable in the real life, you can. Yeah, so that's probably what I'm really like proud for in the INAV 2.5. But honestly, the 2.5 will be once again a nice improvement for the multi-rotor users. The applied performance should be much better because we implemented, added a lot of interesting stuff borrowed from, for example, from Betaflight or borrowed from EmuFlight, and 2.6 even better because I already have a lot of code for the 2.6 and it will be amazing. Squared.
Fraser asks, does the global variables and all that sort of thing mean you can do maths on INAV like you can do with OpenTX?
Yes. I will say really like honestly, this thing was based on the OpenTX possibilities to program this thing. It's not maybe as evolved as the TX version. However, it can do things that OpenTX cannot do because it can interact with the INAV. It can get states from the INAV. It cannot modify too much of the stuff outside from the servo output or the VTX channel or override throttle. So the interaction from the logic conditions to the INAV is very limited, but it can get a lot of information from the INAV itself. If you really want to, you can implement your own PID controller for something with this functionality. You don't know. There's no reason, but you can.
Fraser's got a particular example there of that he wants to use. He wants to have a function of airspeed and motor RPM, so then you drive a servo to adjust variable pitch.
Possible, yes. Doable right now, no. No, but honestly, this is what it misses. For example, to do some, I'm still collecting like the stuff you can integrate it with, and somehow the RPM from the motors was not part of the list of the sensors. But if someone people are adding actually already inputs and outputs to this functionality. Not only me, but other people also like it and modify the code, adding something new. It's only about adding the ESC temperature, or for example ESC RPM or ESC current to the list of inputs, and you would be able to override throttle or make a math to do something with the variable pitch or anything else. The input does not exist, but it can do it.
There we go.
It's evolving. It's evolving. It's evolving. In the next few years, this will be the next programming language of the world. IDAF.
Well, I'm sure there will be many people in the chat who will come up with things for that. I mean, maybe someone can come up with something using all this stuff for the oddball. Maybe that would be an interesting one. Interesting entry.
It's really like it's like with every programming language. You can use it to build whatever you want, but you have to know what you want to do with it. The logic conditions are probably Turing complete. Who knows who's the developer and knows what Turing complete means? Nobody? Okay, it's only me then. It's almost like a programming language. But you have to know that you want to use the programming language. We will see if there will be interest in the functionality. I hope there will be, and that people will want to improve this, add new functionalities, add new inputs, add new outputs, because it's relatively simple code. The idea and the wheel are the most important aspects of all of that.
There we go.
Cool. Knocking it out of the park. Curry said, "Don't speak
hello
to
to
him."
Winter Blue, Curry, Fraser Stream, Brighton. That's you. Dave Story, Green Patches in the chat. Oh God, I'm gonna have to look in here. MC Shady. Hello to Fraser Steen, Winter Blue. I've done that one. Oh my God, what's that? 07RC. Double A. What's up, Mr. Shady? Audio Geek. I'm trying to find some more people. Fraser Steen in the chat. Hello.
Oh, someone in the chat heard about Turing Complete. Amazing!
Zeros in the chat. Dave Story.
I'm not the only one.
I've heard
in the chat.
What it means.
Lewis Stephen M. RC Robotics. That's all I'm doing.
Magical Pencil, Zero, Win.
Hello, everyone. Richard
Ali's
Warwick.
new.
What's up, people?
Fraser.
Thank you for tuning in every Thursday, even though the last 4 weeks have been poo-poo because no one can fly.
I hovered Steve's quad to test it.
You hovered Steve's quad.
Yeah.
Curry Kitten flew over to the neighbours nearly, and that's it. That's about 4 weeks flying, basically.
We've all had a great time.
We've had a great time.
I do have a great time because, like I mentioned, I'm allowed to leave for the recreational purposes, and I'm doing this every few days. I'm flying.
Oh, nice. And
yes,
Tony
you can
left.
be jealous. You can be jealous. I allow you.
Tony is a cod killing machine. He's not. He's vegan. He'd never kill a cog.
So he punches fishes, or he's just rage quitting from Call of Duty all the time.
Shout.
He's a cock killer.
Rage quit, Tony. There we go.
What, age quit or rage?
Rage quit.
Funny enough, did anyone see Tony's story on Instagram?
No.
Because he was wandering around the woods and he came across a man wandering completely naked in the woods. Like real, and filmed
absolutely
it
normal. Come on.
Just
being naked in the woods, it's the thing.
Weirdly, that's happened to me before. When I was out on my mountain bike, I came across a naked man. It's like, why is there a naked man here? My wife made me call the police and report it, and then I had to try and figure out where I was in the woods. Where were you? I was in the woods. What woods? Don't know. Woods near me.
GPS location use what 3 words?
Do
Can
you
we have a
remember-
what? Can we have
Did
a
anyone
what 3
see
words?
last year at the mini air
Oh, no,
show
no.
where I had to go over to the trees on the other side of the field and
Oh no! Tell
approach
those sunbathers.
well, like from the flying side of the field, it looked like this guy had just kind of wandered out of the trees stark naked and just like passed out on the field. But I went over there and he was in some shorts, but they were tan coloured shorts and he was generally tan coloured and he'd had nothing else on him. And he just decided that was the best place to see these 20 odd kilo or just shy of 20 odd kilo jets flying around. He thought that right underneath would be the perfect place to watch them. I guess you could move on a bit, please.
Jesus
But
Christ.
yeah.
So the woods are literally full of naked people, is what we've
And
discovered.
weirdos.
Yes,
Yeah.
and parks. Don't forget about parks.
Don't know whether we have that problem over here.
I've not seen naked people in the park, but a deer did wander down the street, my wife told me the other
Did it
day.
have clothes on?
No, naked deer.
Please remember exactly, Frank. Everybody's naked under his clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. You know, Sophie, can she name her channel Curry Litter, as in like a litter of kittens?
No.
Sorry.
If she doesn't do YouTube anymore, because she's a teenager, only TikTok exists. You should know this. It's only TikTok for young people. Everything else is for old people.
Interestingly, my older daughter is not interested in TikTok at all. At all.
Interesting.
Zero
Is this a
zero
Polish
interest.
thing?
I have no idea. Her friends are, I TikTok. I will, but I TikTok. Yeah.
As far as I can figure, basically you make a 10-second video of you lip syncing or staring into the camera, and then you get 20,000 views for some reason. I don't know how it works.
Some reason.
I was just like, well, show me your video. She says, my video's blowing up. I was like, show me it. What'd she do? And she's just staring into the camera with this like caption saying, Monday at school. And that's the face. And that's the video.
Apparently, this is what the people want.
This is down with the kids. What the kids want. And I have become my own parents where you say, well, this is rubbish. I don't understand any of this. This is crap. What is this music you're listening to? It's got no tune. That sort of thing.
I know that feeling. Yes, definitely.
Oh, she listened to Nightcore anyway. You should have put her up for adoption.
Nobody will take her.
Wait, no.
It seems like Tony has been ejected from the internet, so we're going to have to sign off without him.
Yeah, no worries. Pavel, can I ask you about your shirt?
Yes, of course. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
What is it?
It's
your shirt?
I think it's B17, right? And it's an almost pure coincidence I'm wearing this thing today.
Very related. Yep.
Yes.
Well, let Frank stalk you and get you signed up to Mini Air Show like the rest of us. And hopefully I'll see you there. What date, Frank? What time?
Saturday, the 16th of May.
16th of May. Oh man, I'm doing a live stream on the 16th of May.
Well, you're set up and you can.
So is everybody at Mini Air Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Already set up. Why don't
people the Mini Air Show?
Yeah, I do, and then when you're done, send them back. Thank you. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. You have been joined by everyone's favourite curry kitten.
Goodbye.
My little Tony, who's not here anymore. Hello. Oh, bonjour. Bonjour. Oh. I hope you get better, Tony's dad. I hope you feel good. My deepest sympathies for being Tony's father. Andrew / Frank, who's running Mini Air Show on the 16th.
Bye. See you then.
And our guest, Pavel Pakowski.
No.
Almost. And
throughout the show.
I know. And I am Brighton Till I Fly. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much.
And if you're listening to this on iTunes or whatever. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right.